I haven't really gotten pigeonholed yet. I'm sure there's definitely teams that see me at certain positions rather than the other, but so far I haven't had a team come out and specifically say, "Hey, you're a tackle, you're a guard, you're a center."
So how do you sell yourself? Do you just sell yourself on the Swiss Army knife quality, or what are you saying?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I like to use that versatility to my advantage, playing multiple positions, even playing on the right side at Senior Bowl, knowing I can snap. So try to use that to my advantage the best I can.
Once you get your snap,
What's that?
once you get your snap.
Can't do it right now.
Have you spoken with the Eagles yet?
Yeah, just for a brief moment. Same thing. It was a really good conversation. Really got down to the X's and O's. Talked some blitz packages. Talked some defensive fronts, some offensive schematics. What we ran at Ole Miss, so it went really well.
Is there anybody in the NFL that you kind of see yourself in, get you getting out there?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's kind of something I pride myself on is watching other guys and trying to pull different things from everybody. Really like watching Joe Tooney, Joe Batonio, Quentin Nelson, Wyatt Teller. Those are kind of the guys I've always really liked watching film and try to pull different things from each different guy.
What's it like having Jake Thornton as an offense?
Yeah, Coach Thornton was awesome. He was a man. I mean, just helped me develop so much, not only on the field but off the field. I give a lot of my credit to my success this last season because of him. Taking the time to meet with me, putting me through extra drills, putting me through everything, and just really boosting my understanding of not just what I was doing in the O line, but the collective group, the collective five. Quarterback reads, tight end, running back, all of it. So yeah, he's phenomenal.
What do you feel like the biggest strength is of this?
I think just the way he's able to teach it, not just knowing it, but being able to send the messages to us and being able to help us explain it.
How do you anticipate that moving forward?
I think he'll do really well. I mean, I think no matter where Coach Thornton goes, he'll be really successful just because of how hard he works and just how he is.
What's the biggest thing you learned about being versatile? It's got to be difficult to play a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of it's pretty similar. I mean, as far as if you're going from the left side to left side, your hip alignment's still the same. I think the biggest difference is just kind of some of the stance stuff. A lot of the angles are different. The spatial awareness is a little different, but I think it's not as bad as people seem. I think, in my opinion, just from doing it. But I don't know if that's like more of a comfort thing for me.
Do teams talk about utilizing that versatility and using movement?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, having the ability to play both guard and tackle, I think it's really big for a guy like me. Just if somebody goes down, I can be the next guy up if whatever reason, and just being able to play any position, definitely helps.
Have you met with the Chiefs yet?
Not yet.
The Cowboys,
Not yet.
Texans?
Not yet.
Do you have anything scheduled with you?
Not yet. We have informals tonight though, and so maybe I'll catch him then.
What do you hope to show here at the combine?
Definitely my athleticism. Same thing as well as versatility. We'll put through all different drills, playing on the right side and the left side, showing those versatilities, but how I move in a short area. Definitely want to showcase my abilities as best I can.
Have you gotten any advice from Royce or any of those former teammates of yours just kind of leading up to this draft process?
Yeah, definitely. Talked to Royce and Ben a lot. I think the biggest thing, is be yourself. And I think that was just kind of their message throughout the whole thing, just kind of from their own personal experiences. Do what you're good at. Be yourself. So, just be confident through everything.
Did anything throw you off in meetings? Anything that actually you do?
Not yet. All of mine have been pretty good so far.
How much did you get to see Austin
Yeah, saw Austin Keys a lot. He's definitely one of those guys that once you see him come out on the field, you're like, oh, wow. Like, he definitely looks the part. He does a really good job, going sideline to sideline.
Have you met with Washington before?
Not yet, huh?
Save you some time. Who are your formals so far?
I haven't had any formals so far. Did a lot of those at the Senior Bowl, though. But I've had a ton of informals, and then we have more informals tonight.
Did you ever get to have any interaction with Pops?
Oh, yeah.
How was that?
Pops is the man. I mean, just so many stories from, anytime he talks about a story and it's got guys like Warren Sapp in it, it's definitely something that kind of perks your ears up. I mean, he's definitely done it all when you think about coaching and just all the success he's had at everywhere, wherever he's been at, there's always just been a constant theme of success.
The 49ers run a lot of mid and outside zone with a lot of gap schemes sprinkled in. Do you feel like you could fit into a scheme like that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's a lot of what we ran at Ole Miss, and just to feel really comfortable with all of that for sure.
Can you play right tackle too?
Yeah, I played right side at the Senior Bowl, so I definitely feel confident with the right side. And training with Duke Manyweather, he makes us really train everything. Doesn't really matter who you are. So, yeah, definitely feel good about playing the right side.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
How do you sum up coming from Springfield, Central Illinois to Ole Miss to where you are sitting here today on the biggest stage yet?
Yeah, I mean, it's been quite the journey. thankfully for me, I've had a lot of good influences. You know, two of my guys I watched growing up, guy I played with, you know, from Heart-Griffin, both in the NFL now. Obviously, played with a bunch of Ole Miss teammates that are in the NFL now. So I think growing up, this was one of the things that was definitely a dream. And then as you get older and older, it's kind of like more of a goal. But it's still a really cool experience to be up here.
What did Albert really tell you about being here?
I think, you know, the biggest thing is just such a whirlwind. You know, just same thing Royce and Ben. Let's just kind of stay true to yourself, be confident, and just own it, own the moment. You know, enjoy the experience. So I think that's kind of something that I think a lot of people will forget about. You know, it's still a cool opportunity to be here. So try to soak it all in as best you can.
One thing that you did mention was, a lot of influences on your life. Would you care to expand on that a little bit? Like, who have been some of those, big influences on your life? Find you some firsthand, why?
Yeah, I mean, definitely just growing up with my parents. I feel like they raised both me and my brother the right way, and grew up in a kind of a football family. My dad and my brother both played in the Big Ten, so kind of hearing their experiences, my dad from kind of the past, and my brother being only 4 years older than I am, a little bit newer to college football, so some of the stuff we had to go through was similar. So going in, I kind of had like a pretty good idea of what was to expect, and definitely playing with guys in Royce and Ben, I was like, okay, I want to be like that. I want to be like those guys, be like a Greg Little, Javon Patterson, those draft picks that came through Ole Miss, and kind of carry on those traditions.
You ever view it as, kind of like a competitive thing, like to see if you your dad, your brother, something like that?
100%. I'm a really competitive person, so even with guys like Royce, you know, I want to beat his 40 time. You know, I want to do all those things just so I can mess with him a little bit.
What do you say to Royce if he beats 40 times?
I'm gonna tell him he's slow. Better athlete than he is.
What do the field drills kind of mean for offensive linemen? Like, obviously, you're not going to run 40 yards on those plays. What are you trying to show?
Yeah, I think, you know, when you're running a 40, I think the 10-yard definitely is really important for a lineman, and just overall athletic ability. I mean, you know, getting out in space and being able to get utilized in some of those screen plays and pulls, things like that. I think it's definitely very important for us.
You gonna watch the draft back home?
What's that?
You gonna watch the draft back home?
I'll probably watch in Oxford, honestly. Yeah.
What would you kind of define as, your favorite moments, I guess I should say, in college?
Oh, that's kind of tough. Going back on it, I feel like the Arkansas game where we won like 53, 52, 52, 51, something like that, kind of a shootout. Braylon scored at the end. They scored in like 15 seconds, it felt like, and then they go for two and don't get it. That was pretty crazy. AJ's pick six when we had game day, that was pretty cool. It kind of iced the game, and anytime you win the Egg Bowl, there's nothing sweeter than that. Nothing better than that. Yeah, he's a little bit different. I think he kind of lets the players more so kind of take over. He's not one of those guys that's always, you know, grilling us or anything like that, but definitely a really cool guy to play for, just with all the different packages we get in and different run schemes, different pass variations for the receivers. So definitely being around a guy like Coach Kiffin, like he's definitely really fun to play for. Yep. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, definitely the rhythm of it's a little different. You're kind of like, almost use the analogy, like when you're playing guard, it's kind of like being in a little phone booth. Definitely a little tighter. Tackle, you definitely have a lot more space, but I think that's kind of like, it sounds like it's going to be a lot easier going from left tackle to left guard, but definitely there's some differences between it, and you have to adjust a little bit. But, you know, having Coach Thornton, he definitely got me ready for it. There's been a few teams that have talked about, you know, tackling. I think a lot of it, too, has been more of a, you know, start you out at guard, but, hey, if we need a swing tackle, like, you can do both. So just really open to playing whatever. Yeah. Yeah, so I played right side at the Senior Bowl. But, yeah, definitely using that to my advantage as best I can, and not only just playing it but understanding it. I think that's kind of like a big part of it, is if you know tackle and you know guard, you kind of really know everything in my world. You know, everybody, you know, playing tackle, I knew what the guard was doing because we were working in so much unison. And then knowing guard, obviously knew tackle, and it was like, okay, center, you got to figure out what the center's doing if I'm next to him. So really have a good understanding for all five now. Yeah.
How would you kind of define your approach to leadership, both on the field and off the field?
Yeah, I mean, leadership's definitely something I really grew into at Ole Miss, just because we had a guy like Matt Corral who was, kind of our clear-cut leader, but kind of just pulled different things from different guys as far as when I was leading the team. We really had a good group at Ole Miss that was helping lead. So, but for me, it was always like more of an example guy. Definitely would speak to the team and things like that. But I think the biggest thing with leading is always having confidence and staying true to your word.
Where you been training at?
I've been training with Duke Manyweather at Sports Academy in Frisco.
Duck's got enough quarterbacks next year.
Yeah, I think he'll be all right at quarterback. He kind of has him at his disposal.